So this whole idea of Radha, right? Because we see Radha's involvement in Rasleela, which is again one of the most misinterpreted actions and which has now become synonymous slang with, oh, ye to Rasleela kar raha hai. You know, that's how they talk about boys who are talking to even a few girls at the same time. Because Rasleela is one of the most potent physical or spiritual possibilities for a seeker. Remember I was telling you about how different portions of the Bhagavatam are compared to different or are symbolized, or we give them different attributes of Bhagavan's Purusha Swarupam, right? The Mukham is the Dashamaskandam, the 10th chapter of Bhagavatam. What is the pranam for this? Within the body, we have pancha pranas. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. These are 5 different kinds of pranas. So it's not breath. Prana again is poorly misinterpreted or poorly translated as breath. Prana breath is a function of prana. I cannot find a close enough translatable, so I won't.
Life force?
Fair enough. You could say.
Chi.
Yeah, but that's a different world in itself. So pranas are 5. If you look in the Dashamaskandam, there are 5 chapters of the Rasleela. Those 5 are said to be the pranam for Bhagavan. Because understanding Bhagavan means getting into the Rasleela. Because there you see Krishna's entire glow. You see the entire aspect of what is the Rasleela. It is not a kamakeli. It is not the dance of a lustful boy with young woman. That's what it is poorly interpreted. That's how it's found its expression in films and a host of other media which have corrupted its essence, which is something very beautiful and very powerful. The whole idea of rasa is essence. Raso vai saha, we say, which means rasa is that Parabrahma. Rasa, the essence, is joy. The one who is able to appreciate that joy, we call them as rasikas. And you see the import of this into music and dance. Those who, especially in Carnatic concerts, we hear this word a lot, rasika, that yes, I am a rasika of this music, which when you translate to English, rasika becomes fan. But fan is much less a word in terms of its potency. Rasika means somebody who is able to extract the essence and dissolve themselves into the bliss of the experience. So when you're listening to music has that potential, it can make you just dissolve into a certain joy. Same thing with dance. Same thing with any expression, any art form or anything outside. It finds its origin in this Rasleela, the one who makes us dance the dance of abandon.
Let's take a step back.
Yes.
Could you explain what the word Rasleela meant on a surface level first?
Sure.
And then we'll go to a deeper meaning.
So Krishna Leelas are many in number, right? There are host of things that happen as he's a growing boy. But like I said, once all of the Gopas are given permission to enter Vrindavan, here you see some of the most extraordinary Leelas happening.
Who are the Gopas?
The Gopas, good question. The Gopas and the Gopis are poorly translated as milkmen or the cowherds as we refer to them. But the word, if you look at Krishna Bhakti, all sampradayams, all traditions will tell you have to become a gopi to appreciate Krishna, to know Krishna. What is it telling you to do? Is it telling you to take up a certain profession and become a cowherd? This is not in any way intended to be derogatory to the profession. But the idea is, Gopas and Gopis, they may look like they are just like you and me. They're doing their functions and carrying on. But they are extraordinary people. They are people madly in love. Remember, you used the word obsession in the beginning. They are obsessed with Krishna. For them, everything is Krishna. And who are Gopas is the next question, right? As in, literally, yes, they appear like beings who are just in the vicinity of Vrindavan, growing and being happy with Krishna. But look at the word Gopa or Gopi. Go refers not only to cow. Go also means our sense organs. Indriyas are called as go. P over there refers to pibati, meaning to drink. Those who drink the essence of Paramatma with all their sense organs are called as gopis. Meaning when they are seeing, they want to see Krishna. When they hear, they want to hear Krishna Katha. When they are tasting, they want to taste Krishna Prasadam. When they are smelling, they want to smell the aroma of Krishna. When they are touching, they want to touch his lotus feet. With all their sense organs, they're singularly focused on Krishna. Becoming a gopi is one of the hardest things to do. Because it means you want Krishna, nothing from Krishna. There is a fine line, but a strong distinction between the two. When you want him in that state, you will become a gopi. That is why when sadhakas like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said they wanted to experience Krishna, he became a gopi. He became Radha. By Radha's grace, he had some phenomenal experiences. But Radha is the one who gives Gopya Bhakti Prasadataha, the one who gives the experience of becoming a gopi. Because gopi is not about a physical aspect of feminine and masculine. He is that Paramapurusha. I have to become a gopi for him. So gopis are those beings there that had waited for lifetimes to incarnate and to be present when Krishna was born. And when Krishna did come, they surrounded, they centered him at the center of their existence, and everything was around him. So once they start to grow with Krishna, they're all thrilled that he's there. And one phenomenal moment happens. So I told you about Radha being crowned, and then Radha and Krishna have a secretive marriage, which even the gopis don't attend. Nobody knows about it. Much later comes a point in Vrindavan when one fine night on Purnima, Sharad Purnima, which is the Purnima that comes 5 days after. 2 Purnimas in the year are called as Sharad Purnima because they come in Sharad Ritu. This is the month when we have Navaratri and the month when we, soon after Deepavali. So that is basically Ashwija Masam and Kartika Masam. Both these Purnimas are called as Sharad Purnimas. On this night, Krishna goes into one of the vans of one of the vanams, and he picks up his flute and he begins to play it. Krishna goes alone. He is playing this somewhere far away. All of these gopis are involved in samsaram. They are all involved in their own worlds. They all have homes. They all have people to take care of. They are involved in whatever ways. May all of them hear the call. Only they can hear the flute. Their families and others cannot. And this is the beginning of I will not say this is the beginning of the Rasleela. This is the beginning of this Leela. What is Leela then? Leela is a way in which Bhagavan shows his Swarupam. He shows his Anugraham, his grace, how he is about to bless these people. Because these were people that wanted him and him alone. And this is their moment of mukti. And it is so beautiful, Ranveer, the way the gopis deal with this. Because this becomes the story of a sadhaka who wants to attain that divine. The first stage of that is when you hear the divine calling you, you follow that call. That happens to a sadhaka. They forget everything around them. So in the case of the gopis, it's described that they're all in their homes, respective homes, doing their own things. Suddenly one lady is feeding a child and she's just dropped the child and she's going. Another lady was cooking. She's not bothered that something is there cooking. She's left. The third lady was serving her husband and in-laws. She just walked out and she followed that call. There were some who did not get to go. There were some who were blocked by others. This is teaching us about the nature of the world. When we are on spiritual journeys, there will be forces that knowingly or unknowingly or unwittingly are blocking us. Sometimes even our own folks may say, "Ye sab kya kar rahe ho abhi tum? Baad mein kar lena." But these forces will not stop a true seeker. They will pay no heed to it. They will go straight. There were some that were not allowed to go. Krishna had decided that night, I am going to give mukti to the gopikas. What about the ones who could not come? Their eyes shut and they experienced that mukti then and there. Not to say that they died, but they went into such a state where they did not associate with their body anymore. That is the ultimate moksha. That is called as Jivan Mukta Avastha, where even when you are physically alive and you are inside this body, you have lost all sensation with this body. The ones that could not go, he gave them there. But the story continues with all the ones that got pulled towards him. Of course, Rasleela, if we begin talking about it warrants a great episode in itself, to be very honest. But what is the current connotation of Rasleela? Rasleela, what happens after this is once the gopis are drawn to the place where Krishna is, they all find him there and he's playing the flute. So they're all surrounding him and soon they notice that there is one Krishna for every gopika. So every gopika has a personal Krishna now and he's playing the flute. They are dancing. Soon he is also dancing with them. They become intimate. This is the basic understanding of Rasleela. Rasleela has not even started, to be honest. Till this point, people have reached, and at a surface level, they have taken it and trashed it. They have, like I said, this becomes a popular slang to say, oh, if you see a boy with multiple girls, you'll say, oh, Krishna and his gopikas. These are these kind of derogatory things which people feel thrilled about saying. What they end up doing is a disservice to the actual understanding there. It is not women that are lusting after Krishna that go there. The idea of Rasleela, like I said, one is about being able to recognize the call of the divine and to act on it. Because Krishna is like this. If Krishna calls, he will test, do you want to come or do you not? Are you willing to let go of everything else and come right now? If you say, listen, Krishna, you're calling, but there is something that I need to attend to, I'll finish that and come, then he'll say, you know what, I'll move on. There are other seekers. I will go there. But if you follow that call, the magic happens after that. And that's what happens now. Because they're all dancing with Krishna. They're all thrilled. Stage number 1, recognizing the divine. Second, the call of the divine. Second stage is to experience and allow that bliss to drench them. Happens to all of them. Third stage, prior to Rasleela, suddenly all these gopikas, they're all around him. Suddenly they're all thinking to themselves, such a Paramatma, he is called by the entire universe. He lifted up Govardhan Parvatam. He did all of these phenomenal leelas. I caught such a Paramatma, no? Such a Paramatma is in my control now. He's dancing. They don't realize it. It's a kinchit. It's such a meager, just a floating thought. The second it comes to all of them independently, Krishna is there, means Yoga Maya is there. They're all deluded into thinking the same thing. The second they think that, he's disappeared. They no longer see him. Now starts the desperation. Because up till now, they didn't know what the taste of dancing like this with Krishna was. Now they did, and this is a Divya Anubhuti. It's an extraordinary experience. Now when they're experiencing this in this format, and it's taken away from them, imagine eating something that you absolutely relish, that you've never eaten before, and then having someone pull it away from you. Say, no, you can't have it anymore. So they lament, they cry, and then they discover, oh my God, I just thought that, and then they realize, oh, you also thought that. Oh, you also thought that. So everybody was thinking the same thing. And then they start to search for him. And when they search for him, they don't find him. And they're all now starting to mimic him. Stages in bhakti. You want to be with the divine so badly, you become the divine. So one of them goes and stands on top of a rock and says, oh, this rock is Kaliya and I am Krishna. I am dancing on top of this rock. Another one picks up a stone and says, this is Govardhan Parvatam. I am Krishna. What are you doing? You're mimicking him. These are all ways in which you go closer to him. You start to internalize him. But there's no sign of him. So they're all crying, they're cursing themselves. And suddenly they notice a pair of footprints. And they realize, hey, are those his footprints? So they start to follow it in the forest. It's just moonlight that they have, nothing else. And then they realize there's another pair of footprints with them. This is what Bhagavatam tells us. They realize this and they're all checking, oh my God, who's there? Because all the gopis are here, so who's with him? This is where Bhagavatam gives a hint of Radha. Bhagavatam does not reveal that it is Radha. They just see that there are two sets of footprints that are disappearing into a thicket inside the forest. They don't say anything else. Shukha Yogendra does not tell Parikshit who it is. But they're all wondering, who is this woman who is with him? And then after some time of thinking, wondering who it is, Krishna appears at some point. When Krishna decides to appear is when he appears, not when they lament. Next stage in bhakti. He will come not because you caught him. You cannot catch him. Upanishad says this. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. You cannot have him by your mind or by your speech. If you think so, that is ahankaram. And ahankaram immediately will be separated from him. So what does he do? He clears the gopis of that ahankaram. That yeah, he's mine. There is no mine in sadhana. There is no me. There is only you. And once he comes back now, he dances with them. And that is the Rasleela, where this is the dance of complete abandon, where they have recognized his true self. And that is a Nitya Rasleela. It happens on a daily basis. So you see the clear physical presence of Radha in other Puranams. In Bhagavata Puranam, there is just Krishna who comes like this. Since you like connections, the world of connections begins here. There is one Krishna in the center. There are gopikas all around him. For every gopika, now there is also a Krishna that is manifesting. There are Krishnas all around. There's a central point, a Bindu Sthanam, and there is a circle around him. What is a circle? Basically, multiple such dots. The same dot that is here in the center is all over. Bindu Sthanam and layers and layers and layers of Krishnas. That is nothing but the Sri Chakram. The Sri Chakram is the Bindu Sthanam in the center with Shiva and Shakti. And all around them are Nava Avarnas, 9 enclosures of different divine forces, which originate where? They originate from here. So the same Krishna that's here is the same Krishna that's all around. It is the geometrical representation of this entire universe, Vishwa Chakram, which is sustained by Shiva and Shakti.
Is it like Fibonacci?
It is a constantly expanding chakram, but it has fixed enclosures. So the Sri Chakram, when it is in 2D, it is called as Sri Yantram. It is a geometric. Okay. When it is pulled up, it becomes the Mahameru, because then the Bindu comes at the top and all of these lead up to that. That leads you into the world of Devi. So, yeah, just to show you that the same connection that Krishna's dance here is the same as the Sri Yantra or the Sri Chakra. So, yeah, one thing leads you. With Krishna, everyone comes.
Hey, if you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out all the other clips we've uploaded on this channel. You'll find a clip related to almost every single topic as long as you're willing to search for it.